Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. I'm your host, Sunex, and with me today, as always, is our NHL and analyst expert, the grumpy old man. They say there's no shame in his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
That's right, Grumpy. That is you. So before we get into our show, as always, we got to go over a little bit of housekeeping rules. If you guys enjoy the content over here, and even if you don't, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, comment, so we can juice up that algorithm and get this show out to as many people as possible. Usually shoot to have the show every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, that's about it. That's about it.
That
is about it. So Grumpy, I know we did, I think our last show was the draft extravaganza, correct?
That is correct.
Yep. And then now we are into NHL Free Agency, Grumpy.
As much as it is, yes, that's correct, Mr. X.
That's correct. What would you say has been the biggest move so far in free agency? What team do you think has had the biggest impact on free agency?
Well, why don't you bring up the free agent deals that were done today, Mr. X?
Let's go ahead and look those up here, Grumpy. You might have to give me a second to pull them up.
And I don't know, you're seeing guys sign for an awful lot of money. That much. Got going up. Byron Bowen, 5 years, $12.5 million. Dorothea signing that contract with the Rangers, 8 years, 11.5. Sergei Bobrovsky getting 3 years, $7 million per. I don't really like any of the deals. Jacob Trouba signed a deal today with San Jose. San Jose totally revamped their defense today. I don't think necessarily for the better. They spent an awful lot of money on guys that I don't particularly like. Darnell Nurse, I don't think he's that great. So they've got him for how many years? I mean,
this is horrible.
Let's just bring up the transactions. I think that's really, really important.
Yeah. So we've had there were a lot of signings today.
Yeah. I don't talk about we'll talk about the nickel and we'll talk about the only nickel and dime signings we're going to talk about are the ones the Islanders made. Other than that, we'll just stick with the big stuff, right? That's kind of what we're looking at. Marcus Foligno. These are all manageable deals. But like I said, for me, anyway, who did well, who didn't do well, who were the winners, who were the losers. Just looking at guys that are just signing and guys that are moving on. It's interesting, right? Bobrovsky's deal, 3 years, $7 million.
I thought it was way too crazy.
Yeah,
for where he's at in his career, too much.
Wouldn't he been better off just going back to Florida? I think Florida offered him like maybe 2 years at $6 million per. Wouldn't you rather go there?
Wanted to make that money.
Yeah, some guys haven't signed yet. I know John Carlson was traded. His rights were traded to Carolina. You have to assume that he's going to sign with Carolina. And that's a big improvement. Maybe not a big improvement, but it's certainly an improvement offensively for them if he's got anything left in the tank. And maybe that frees them up to make a deal, maybe moving Nishkin. Oh, gosh, I don't know why I can't say his name. But the young defenseman there, he's 36 years old. I don't know what he's looking for. He probably wants to win a cup, though, right? You think that's fair?
Yep.
Okay, Jacob Trouba signing 4 years, $8.25 million with the Sharks again. I just don't know. He's 32 years old. He was better this year, but those guys who always show up in contract years, I always worry about them, right?
Yeah.
San Jose also signed Mason Marchment. Now I think they'll be a better player, but does this make them Stanley Cup contenders? I don't think so. Matt Zuccarello signed with the Kings for a 1 year deal, $1 million. He's 36. They're going to be 37 years old. I guess he sees the writing on the wall in Minnesota, so he left there. Boone Jenner leaves Columbus and goes to Washington, 4 years, $5.75 million. Again, that's a guy 33 years old.
Yep.
I'm
That's a
just
lot of money for a 33-year-old.
The Golden Knights re-signed Rasmus Anderson, 7 years, $8.5 million. I mean, he's 29 years old too. It's like
He'll be playing there till he retires, just about.
But and I realize, the salary cap's going to go up. Maybe they have buyouts, maybe they have whatever. But boy, oh boy, that's an awful lot of term for really old players. So to me, I'm glad the Islanders did not jump into those waters because they're not close enough to being a winner. And I wouldn't pay that type of money, and that's certainly not that type of term for these guys. Victor Arvidsson goes to Detroit. Jaden Schwartz goes to now. Jaden Schwartz is a manageable deal, 3 years, 3.25. Arvidsson, 2 years, 5, leaving from Boston. Okay, Jack Roslovic going to Toronto. That was a good deal. Stuart Skinner leaving Pittsburgh and going to Winnipeg should tell you something, right?
He stinks.
2 years, 3.75. You're not bringing him in unless you're moving Hellebuck, right? Is that fair to say?
Yep.
Okay, so he's still on the move. Freddie Anderson leaves Carolina and goes to Edmonton for 1 year, $1 million.
Well, you knew Edmonton was wanting a goalie. Do I think Freddie Anderson's the answer for them? No.
No, he'll be hurt or he'll choke down the stretch like he always does, like he did this year too, let's be honest.
Yep.
I wish him well. Good luck. But what does it say about Carolina? Are they going to go into next season with Brandon Bussey and Peter Kochetkov in goal? I don't know.
No, they're going to be on the market for a goalie for certain.
It seems risky to me, right? That seems pretty risky. Those are the big names. And then you had some guys who, wind up signing Ilya Mikhailov, the guy he's going to Tampa. And he's had a pretty good career. He was okay in Toronto. And then he went to he's with the Blackhawks this year. He's been around much. 31 years old, 4 years, $3.85 million. I mean, okay, whatever. But like I said, it'll be interesting to see where teams go from here. And of course, that leads us to the Islanders, who signed from Toronto, Matthias Maccelli, the 25 years old, and he wasn't tendered a qualifying offer from the Maple Leafs. Okay. That deal doesn't bother me. It's 1 year, $2.25 million. Not a big guy, of course. Not a great winning puck battles, but he works hard in defense. He's been up and down with Toronto. It's okay to take a flyer on a guy like that. It didn't cost you anything. And of course, the big one is the Islanders lost Captain Anders Lee. That was, correct. That's a big deal, right?
Yep.
Not for me. I'm glad he's gone. Honestly, I saw fans. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they signed him. He got 3 years, $5.4 million.
Looking at it now, isn't it really dumb that we didn't trade him?
It was dumb at the time we didn't trade him. I've been
Yes.
talking about it for a long time. The Islanders shouldn't have signed any of their UFAs back. They should have moved them all.
I agree.
Okay? Maybe the only one being that you would have kept would be Tony DeAngelo. Maybe that's the only one that you keep because you need right shot defensemen, right? Anders Lee, absolutely expendable. JG Pajot, expendable. You can always move these guys if they really want to come back, they will. The sticking point for Anders Lee, he wanted 3 years. Darsh was insistent that it was just going to be one. Lee reduced his demand to a 2-year deal, and the Islanders just wanted to stay at one, and that was that. Well, 35 years old. I mean, he had 42 points in 82 games last year. His plays absolutely tailed off. I would have just given him 1-year deals. If he really wanted to be an Islander, right? You hear all these guys, oh, I want to stay an Islander for life. I want to be an Islander for life. Yeah, well, you know what? When push comes to shove, they take the money.
Absolutely, every single time.
And I don't blame them. I think it's crazy to be so attached to players in their 30s, in their mid-30s. I don't care that you've played here. I don't care that you like it here. Unless you can help the team, you're gone. You're gone. That's what I feel about it. And Andersley should have been gone. I'm losing no sleep over losing Andersley. Absolutely none. I'm glad he's gone. Get rid of more of that cul-de-sac crew mentality.
Yep.
Never should have
He'll
brought
make
back
an
guys
impact for the Mammoth.
I'm saying, say that again, X.
You think he'll make a big impact for the Mammoth?
I think he works for the Mammoth. They're a young team. He'll bring them some type of leadership, right? Certainly intangibles there. And I think that helps a young team like that.
Yep.
I mean, he'll be there a couple of years, 3 years, maybe, who knows? You're going to certainly get diminishing returns from him. He's not going to be a top 6 player for that team. That I'm going to guarantee he's going to be on third line because there's no way his skill set with the talent that they have on that team. There's no, they did move Peterka though. So I might stand corrected on that, but I would say he'll be a third liner for them and he'll be on the power play, stand in front of the net. That's kind of what we're looking at.
Yep.
And the Islanders also signed Vitek Vanacek, goaltender, who's had some ups and downs in the NHL last few years. That tells me David Rittich won't be back. And Darsh says, well, Varlamov's going to be the backup and, Vanacek is going to be in the AHL. Okay, let's see. I think that's Varley insurance is what that is. I mean, you don't need a stud goalie in the AHL or an NHL goalie in the AHL. Again, his contract was nothing, so it doesn't really bother me. And the Islanders still have some money. It's just frustrating because you see the direction the team looks like they're starting to go into, where okay, we'll just sign some fringe guys. Hopefully, we catch lightning in a bottle with Michelli, and Vanacek is nothing. It just reminds me of the dark times.
Yeah.
The Islanders were always signing
bottom tier players,
C-level free agents, if you will.
Yep.
Not guys who make a difference. I mean, that's certainly the case here.
I mean, did you feel that this free agency market, though, was strong?
I don't think the market was strong. I don't mind the Islanders weren't involved. But they could have – Darsh went in such a wrong direction at the deadline that everything that he's doing now is just trying to play catch-up. I still don't know the direction of the team. Still have no idea.
And I know you've kind of said this before. It's almost like with, the cap going up year after year, you're not seeing those superstars go to free agency anymore. They just restructure their deals and sign back with their team,
Well, the NHL is different, though, X, because let's say you sign a deal. It's not like the NFL where you can ship the money around and all that stuff. It's not like that. If you sign a contract that's regardless of the guaranteed money, 5 years, $20 million, well, your cap every year is going to be $4 million, regardless if you pay them $19 million the first
the front end. Oh, okay.
So it's totally different in the NHL. But that being said, these contracts, they're 1-year deals.
Yeah.
They don't fit the Islanders in any way, shape, or form.
No.
So maybe Michelli shows that he can do something.
And then he's coming back.
They need to replace Anders Lee.
Yep.
They're going to need to make some trades if they want to get better. And here's the thing.
But you don't have anything to trade.
Better. To me, they're in rebuild right now.
Yes.
I don't care what Matthew Darsh tells you. This team is in rebuild. And that's what made the disastrous decision at the deadline really hurt where the team is now, where they could have absolutely got a jump start moving forward for the rebuild. And you knew at that time, we knew those were bad trades for the Islanders.
Yep.
Ajay Palat, Carson Soucy, and Braden Shen. Those are bad trades for the Islanders. They lost every one. If it's cap expenditure with Shen, with Shen and Palat, or giving up a draft pick for Soucy. Why? Your team needs draft picks.
That you can leverage for either young players or you can utilize those picks.
You look at Carolina, right? They know what they're doing.
Yep.
They know what they're doing. They have traded out of the first round the last, I think, 3 years and picked up like 3 or 4 extra picks a year. They know it. Their scouting staff knows what the team is about. They know how to target players. There's a reason why they're one of the deepest teams in the minors.
And sometimes, sometimes you just have to take that little bit of hurt on the front end for, a long run of greatness.
Yeah,
yeah.
For me, the Islanders need to do everything that they possibly can to build a team around Matthew Schaefer.
Agreed.
Getting guys like Braden Shen and Ajay Palat and Carson Soucy and anybody else who's over 30 years old is not the way to get that kid to stay when his contract's up.
Yep.
Because if they're still a loser team like they are now, they're a loser team now. They're in the loser team.
Correct.
The loser bracket.
They will not be making the playoffs.
They're not making the playoffs.
Correct.
They're going to be a lottery team for certain.
Yep.
You look at some of the moves that the teams in the Metro Division made. The Rangers have gotten better. They've been able to add and subtract at the same time. I'm not saying the Rangers are great. I think some of the moves they made were stupid salary cap wise. Picking up Marcus Pettersson. He's an okay defenseman. They moved Vinny Trocheck. Okay. I mean, they wanted to get rid of his money. They did okay in that deal. But then you're looking at other teams to me, Columbus looks like they're taking a step back.
Yeah.
Werenski wants out. He turned down a trade to Dallas. He wants to go to Toronto or Tampa are the two teams he wants to go to. And he's got all the power, right?
Yep.
Marchenko, who also plays for Columbus, says he's not re-signing with them in another year or two, whenever his contract's up. We know that Rick Bowness had issues with the players on that team. I wonder who they were. I mean,
probably the guys that are not wanting to sign back.
Well, it's possible. But if that's the case, you got to move them and get as much as you can.
Yep.
They're under no urgency to trade Werenski. Just won the Norris Trophy. But you know what? Move him. Some Islander fans, Zach Werenski would be great for the Islanders. Yeah, at what cost?
Yeah.
I mean,
do you even have the assets to get him?
You're going to have to give up an arm and a leg for him. He's good. He has the power now, and the market is limited. You're seeing the players now with the no trade contracts and the no move clauses that I've always said you can't give everyone these things because then they're in control. And if something doesn't work out, you're between a rock and a hard place. And you're seeing that.
Yep.
Seeing that now with teams. I mean, everyone wants to go to the same teams, right? Dallas, Minnesota, Tampa, Florida. That's where they all want to go. You don't hear anybody say, hey, I want to go play for the New York Islanders. Or, hey, I want to go play for the Winnipeg Jets. Or, hey, I want to play the Jersey Devils. You're not hearing that. They don't want to go.
It's the same couple of teams, the teams that are in contention to win or in an ideal city to live in.
No tax states.
Yep.
No tax states. It helps. It inflates the value of your contract when you don't have to pay state tax.
Yep.
Florida, Texas, Tennessee. I mean, it's not a mistake that players want to go play. And the fact that they're good also helps.
Yep. Well, why do you think they're good? Because good players are going there.
That's right. But that's what I'm saying. The teams are good, so that's where they want to go.
Yep.
Florida traded for Markstrom from Jersey, and they signed Smid, the goalie they traded for Smid, the goalie from Las Vegas. So they've totally redone their goaltending. I don't think much of Markstrom. Smid's just okay. Remember when they won the Cup those 2 years in a row, Bobrovsky came up big in big moments. Is that Markstrom's MO? I don't think so. Is it Smid's MO? No. He's third string goalie for Vegas at the end. So I still think they have a hole in net, but they'll just ride it out like that. They also signed Radko Gulas back. He's 38 years old. They signed him to a 4-year deal worth $1.5 million. Can you pick up Gulas? He did? Yeah, just see what they did today.
You talking about Florida?
Florida, please. Yeah, looks like you had Florida up there.
Yeah, I'll just pull them up over here.
Even if it's just free agent moves. What's Gudas's numbers there? 6 years, right?
Yeah.
It's so small.
6 years, 1.5.
Yeah. okay, the cap hit is great. 6 years for a 36-year-old physical defenseman. Okay, how's that going to age?
Not well.
I mean, if you get 3 years out of him, which I still think is a lot. Now he's played there before, so they know how to manage him. But is that a great deal, really? Brings a physical presence to the back end. They're a hard team to play against. Plays a heavy game.
The only thing I could possibly think of is you're looking towards playoffs with the physicality, where the physicality definitely ramps up in the playoffs compared to the regular season. So maybe it's like looking more so towards long term. I mean, because you got to think Florida's going to be back in the hunt again next year, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So, I mean, maybe they're bringing him in for playoff presence.
Well, they need defensemen.
I know that, but I'm just saying I think maybe they're bringing him in for the playoffs, where it's a little bit more physical. So they got a more physical guy.
They also signed Lusterainen back, I think, to an 8-year deal. And I think that was a great deal for them, right?
Yep, 8 years, $40 million.
Yeah, so that's, what is that? How much a year, X? Do your math.
$3 million a year.
No, it's not. It's $5 million.
That's his current contract. Sorry, $5 million a year. My bad. I was just reading what it said on the screen.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, 40 divided by 8 is not 3.
I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just reading what was on there, what was listed.
Okay.
$5 million a year.
But that's a good deal for him. That's a good deal. All their players are locked up.
27,
All their guys are locked up. All of them. But I don't like their goaltending situation. Their defense is a little bit older, so they got to watch out for that. And the whole thing is all those guys are going to age at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but for right now, Florida's in good shape. Carolina, of course, they always know what they're doing. They never keep a guy too long. When they're moving somebody, when they're moving defensemen or willing to move defensemen, buyer beware. I've said it before, buyer beware. Go to Carolina. I just love what they've done today, of course. They just always know what they're doing. I mean, and then you got the Islanders. Do nothing, Darsh. He's not going to do anything. This is your team. This is your team. You're looking at your team. Michelli has a chance to be, a guy who plays on opening night, but they're not going to be a good team. They're not. I don't know what Peter DeBoer was thinking coming here as a coach, because if you're in win now mode, or if he thinks they're going to win now, he's crazy.
It's delusional.
They're going to be. I think they're going to be. I'll just put it to you this way:
they're not making the playoffs.
They're not making playoffs. And if something happens to Matthew Schaefer,
they're really not making the playoffs.
They're going to be bottom 5 team in the league.
Agreed. He will move from do nothing Darsh to delusional Darsh if he thinks that this team is making a run for the cup.
But if they're willing to just say, okay, we're rebuilding from here on out. Okay. He hurt them with the deals he made. Absolutely hurt the rebuild. Set the team back 2-3 years with those couple of trades, trying to, chase a ridiculous, farcical playoff run that didn't work out. Right? They came in 11th in the conference. I mean, at the time we knew it wasn't going to work. So you're trading away a first, a third, and a fourth. I'm not even going to include the players, and a third. So first, 2/3 and a fourth for Shen, Soucy, and Palat. All right? That's what you do. And like I said, I don't care about Drouin. I don't care about Geloff. I don't care about those guys. But then not trading Anders Lee and J.G. Pajot and Tony DeAngelo probably cost you another first, maybe 2 firsts and a second when you see what teams were getting.
Yep.
I mean, look at what these guys were getting traded for, because there was no free agent market. So the value of those guys is through the roof. He didn't make those moves at the deadline. The Islanders could have been really 2 or 3 years away from being a young team on the up and come. Absolutely. But now, that's not the case. We got Gustafsson on defense. Maybe Aitchison pans out. I don't know. Maybe Yzerman does something. Who knows? Maybe Victor Eklund. But other than that, there's nothing in the pipeline still. We had a good draft last year, I thought. This year, C. Not really impressed. That's what happens when you have a first round pick and then you're picking in the fourth round after that.
Yep.
I mean, where do you expect to go from there? You're not going to have a good draft that way. And you traded all your picks. It was just so dumb. And you don't have to use them all this year. You could have traded. You could have done what Carolina did. Look what the teams that are winners, who are always in the hunt every year, look what they do. You don't see them just, oh, okay, we're going to trade all of our draft picks for, Johnny, 40-year-old Johnny so-and-so. They don't do it. They're always looking to the future. Colorado. Tampa to some extent. Florida's in win now mode, right? They get Brady Tkachuk. Who do we get? Michelli. There's a difference, right? I mean, I think that's fair. It's just where they go from here. Where are the Islanders going from here? The off season's over. You might see a couple of other nickel and dimes guys.
Nothing big.
But are they going to move any defensemen? They're loaded on the left side. People let's move Romanov and Pelech. Okay, well, who's going to play that spot? Aitchison? He's not ready for the NHL. Isaiah George? Might as well move him now. I mean, while he still has some value, move him. You already got Schaefer there. Pelech's contract looks really good all of a sudden. Romanov's contract has, 5 years left? If he has even a presentable season next year, you move him. He shouldn't be a guy that you're married to. It was dumb to re-sign him to that dollar amount. Just looking at what Bowen Byron got, 5 years, $12.5 million. If Noah Dobson would have waited out till free agency this year instead of signing that deal, he would have easily made $12, $13 million a year. Easily. I mean, I'm not blaming him. I would have taken $9.5 million too. But I mean, timing is everything. The cap's going up. It's going up again next year. Can he avoid making dumb moves?
No.
Now, who are the Islanders UFAs at the end of this year? Kyle Palmieri, right? There's no way Kyle Palmieri should be on this team at the trade deadline. Absolutely no way.
Will he, though? That's the question.
I mean, to me, that's the frustrating thing. It's like you do the same. This is something Lamoriello would have done, honestly. It's the same stuff that he would have done. The same dumb things. Like they have Palat. This is his last year for Palat. I don't think he has any value. There's no way he should be on this team at the deadline. No way. He has a 10-team trade list. Like, okay, is that going to help? Maybe if he plays a little bit better next year, maybe they can move him to some destination he likes. Kyle Palmieri, another one, a 16-team no trade list. It's like, why are you giving guys who are in their mid-30s no trade clauses? Casey Zizekas should be gone at the deadline. He's a UAF. Kyle McLean doesn't have any value, so it doesn't matter there. And then defense-wise, they signed Matthew Kessel. Who cares? He's just, an extra body off the bench, signed to a 1-year deal. But like I said, there's no way that you should see guys like Palat or Palmieri or Casey Zizekas on this team at the deadline. You get what you can and you move on.
Yep.
You're not going to be able to move Braden Shen. If somebody came to me and gave me a blowaway offer for Matt Barzal or Bo Horvat, I'd absolutely do it. J.G. Pajot was such a dumb signing. It looks stupider by the second. Anthony Duclair, 2 years left. Where does the team go from here? Lamoriello did a lot of damage. Darce did just as much in 1 year.
Yep.
It's just frustrating. It's really frustrating, X.
Well, it's just the same of the same. That's what it is.
Same old. And they're not – the thing is, they're not – I don't want Islander fans to think this team's going to be good next year.
They're not.
I mean, just look at some of the trades, right, that teams made. I mean, certain teams are trying to get better. We'll find out more, like in the next couple of weeks when free agency is kind of done. We'll, see, who really won the offseason, who lost the offseason. But right now, the Islanders have lost the offseason. The game's not played, in July. They start in, the end of September, early October. But just on paper, and the game's not played on paper either, the Islanders are big losers. Certain teams are winners. Certain teams know what they're doing. San Jose looks like they've improved themselves. Washington absolutely looks like they've improved themselves. I mean, these are direct competitors.
Yep.
Not San Jose, but Washington's a direct competitor. Pittsburgh looks like they got a little bit better. Philadelphia has gotten better. I mean, these are teams in your division. Jersey has ostensibly gotten a little bit better. Can Jack Hughes stay healthy? Carolina's top dog, right? Carolina, Washington, absolutely going to be two of the top three teams in that division.
Correct.
And then you got Pittsburgh and Philadelphia scrapping and Jersey. I mean, Columbus, who knows? I mean, the Islanders are close to the bottom. Now, right now, I pick the Rangers over the Islanders.
I wouldn't do that.
I would.
I would.
The only thing that makes it different is Matthew Schaefer. That's
My
it.
point, exactly. That's why I'm not picking the Rangers over the Islanders.
You better pray nothing happens to him.
Oh, well, okay. You don't go in expecting, the best player on your team to get hurt.
I know
right?
that.
I mean, as of right now, let's say nobody gets hurt for the Rangers or the Islanders. Who would you have?
So we're living in a fantasy world. Okay. I still think the Rangers.
Well, same thing. Oh, the Oilers and Connor McDavid could get hurt, and then how good would the Oilers be?
I look at it this way: the Islanders are not going to go 11-0 in overtime this year.
No, that's not happening.
No, they were closer.
If they did, that'd be wild.
Yeah, but they're not going to. Right? They've lost Anders Lee. They've taken a step back offensively. They absolutely have. Is Sorokin going to be as dynamic as he was last year?
Probably.
I don't know. Probably. Usually goaltenders are, that kind of up and down from year to year. Is Matthew Schaefer going to be? I think Matthew Schaefer could take a step up, but you're going to see teams start targeting him more.
Yep. Or game planning around him specifically.
Right. Like Detroit is a team that they're like, yeah, you're not beating us. Someone else is going to have to beat us. It's not going to be you. And when you don't have anybody else, you get what you get.
Yep.
We are going to have a new captain next year.
Who would you like the new captain to be on?
Would I like the captain to be?
Yes.
They won't do it because they're a veteran team, but I'd rather have it on Matthew Schaefer right now. But I'd put it on Matt Barzal. I'm going to bet they put it on Horvat. That's what I'm going to bet. It goes to Horvat. I'd much rather have it be Barzal.
Agreed. I would much rather have it be Barzal as well.
I like I like him as a leader.
He cares. You can tell he cares. And he doesn't have a personal agenda for why he cares.
Very true. Very true.
Unlike, Bo Horvat, whose only mission was to make the Canadian national team.
Right. And he came out and said it. That was his goal.
Yep.
That was a big goal. But like I said, Matthias Maccelli, I have no problem with that signing. None at all. The Athletic did an article on the best deals and the worst deals. Even Ivan Demidov, $9.1 million, 8 seasons. That's pretty good for a young up-and-coming player. Tyler Forrester, 8 years, $7.1 million. Market value, 8.5. Demidov's was 11.2. Victor Arvidsson, $5 million a year. His market value, $6 million. Matt Zuccarello, his market value, 8.2. He took a 1-year deal with the Kings. He's older, though. You can see why that happens. He's older. And Matthias Maccelli, market value, $4.7 million, $2.3 million contract. Good deal. Good move by Darsh. Does it move the needle? Nope. But those are the deals you're going to have to make. You're going to have to beat the bushes for guys who are maybe expendable. They need a change of scenery. We're back to the old days. We're back to the 1990s right now, the mid to late 90s. That's where this team is right now. Long way from the top. You have the one building piece, the one true building piece. Bad deals with Jacob Trouba. Market value 3.1. His contract was 8.3. That was a disaster. Byron Bowen, same thing. 12.5 was ridiculous. 8.9 was his market value. Maybe they need to reassess the market, I guess. Rasmus Anderson, 6.6 was the market. 8.5 is his contract. Again, Colton says he's a fourth liner. Who cares? Jeffrey Veal, fourth liner. Who cares? But those are the type of things we're looking at. All these teams are overpaying right now. There are guys out there the Islanders could have, depending on what they want. Anthony Mantha's still out there from Pittsburgh. I don't know what he's asking. He's 31 years old. I'm not looking at him necessarily. He's still available. Michael Bunting is available from Dallas. Maybe some of these guys realize that their market isn't what they thought it was going to be, and the Islanders can pick them up for the cheap. Boone Jenner, good signing for 33 years old. I don't like the term. I realize that's going to happen, though, right? But, I mean, it kind of is what it is. John Klingberg's available. He's kind of finished. You see, when San Jose cut loose all their defensemen, look who they brought in now. They absolutely changed it up. But all the really good guys were already snatched up. They're already snatched up. We're not getting Ovi, by the way. Just not happening.
No.
I mean, it was just a lackluster day for the Islanders. It's like I said, it's like the mid to late 1990s all over again. That's what it's like. This is where the team is. That's what happens when you don't want to build through the draft and you just want to put stopgaps every single year. Try to take that tire and just keep patching it all the time. Eventually, run out of rubber.
Yep.
Where it's more patch than it is tire, and that's where the Islanders are at now. It's just the way it's going to be for a while. Frustrating for Islander fans, absolutely, but that's where we're at right now.
Yep.
There's no quick fix for this team anymore. It's
in
over.
the dead zone.
In the suck zone. Stuck in the suck zone.
Yep. All right, Grumpy, do we want to get to some comments?
I want to jump in the ad read real quick, if that's okay
right.
for you there, Mr. X.
That's fine.
It all comes down to this. The best of 7 battle in DraftKings has you covered every step of the way. The DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states and includes all markets. Sweat every shift of the series all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers sign up with code THPN. Spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code THPN. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, that text pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Void in Ontario. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involves risk of loss. Sportsbook bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in predictions dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawable reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
Okay, X.
Getting some comments, Grumpy.
Let's hit these comments. Here's our friend Jeremy Ford Avon, who always has smart comments, usually the smartest comments of the bunch. Is Horvat the next captain? Probably yes. Then Schaefer in a few years, like Gillies passing it to Potvin? Perhaps. Remember, Gillies passed it, he just didn't want that job. Nothing splashy today, but don't mind the Maselli pickup and the terms of the contracts. 100% agree. Mario Vargas says, anybody who wants Horvat to be the next captain has not been paying attention. I agree. It should be Matt Barzal. Frank from Empire State Construction says, goodbye, Lee, and good riddance. The fact he wouldn't take the Islanders' offer, which he did as a favor, after getting paid like a superstar for 7 years and wasn't close to a star, says a lot. Again,
They want money.
That's right. I don't blame them either. But when fans think, oh, we got to keep him because he's been here forever, he's been so loyal, or the player says, I want to stay here forever. Yeah, they want to stay there forever because they're comfortable.
And here's the other thing. When the money becomes so high that these players are getting paid, there is no such thing as loyalty anymore. There just isn't. They're loyal to one thing, and it's green.
Their careers are short.
Yep. And I don't blame him. Yeah, you have a finite amount of time to play where you can make all that money. They want to maximize the amount that they can make during that time period.
This is Anders Lee's last contract.
Yes. Yes.
And here's the thing, still an overpay.
Yep.
I think he's finished. 1212 01212 1321 says, Son X, what jersey number you are not to see in the Islanders next year or forever? What, I don't even know what that means.
27.
Oh, okay. JP said, well, that's right, 27. Good one, X. That's right. JP says, so far, Darsh's free agent moves actually makes sense in the context of this roster. Now this roster is inherently problematic because of the crap he's done himself, but at least he's not compounding problems. Well, there's nobody out there to sign. And in fact, no one wants to play for the Islanders. They're not going to play for a team that just is bad. It's a bad team. JP adds, has Darsh actually learned on the job? Is there still a glimmer of hope 48 won't be in Houston when his contract expires? In Houston.
I would think you go to Toronto.
I think he might go to Toronto.
Play with Gavin McKenna, who he was yucking it up with before the draft.
Yeah, they were chumming it up. They sure were. The most confusing thing to me was that they went all in at the deadline. Not for somebody who could grow with the team, a 26, 27, 28-year-old guy who's 34, and a guy who's 36, and a guy who's 32. That's right out of the Lou Lamoriello handbook. How'd that work out for you? 3 playoff wins in, 5-6 years? 3 playoff wins. It's not good enough. Frank from Empire State says, Horvat would be a great captain. I don't want Shen to be the captain. He's
here for another year or two.
Yeah, I don't think Shen had any shot of being captain.
No.
Should have been Matt Barzal. That's why I want. Bo Horvat's been politicking for that job for years. He's wanted the captain job.
Yep. Again, another personal mission that he wants, right?
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Whatever. Like I said, if somebody offered me a deal for him, I'd take it.
Yep.
N says, I hope Barzal is the new captain. He's drafted by the Islanders, not Horvat. Yeah, but I think you're going to see Horvat's the captain. JP says, I was really pissed at Darsh for pissing away the draft capital, but if that's the last stupid thing he does, I can take a breath. Well, who knows? You never know with him.
True.
Moon says, although he took a lot of shots on this podcast, I was an Anders Lee fan. He carried himself well as a player on and off the ice. Son X, with other dogs, does Dog Z play nice?
Yeah, he's fine with other dogs. Yeah.
He's a freaking menace.
On a leash, yeah, he goes insane. But he's not mean to them or anything.
Rick Rock says, give Shafe the C. Snorvat won't give an effort for 4 more years. I'm happy Darsh played free agency, okay? Nevertheless, the motto for the team this year is crashing for Landon. Spread the news. Crashing for Landon. We'll have to come up with a better saying. Gugner says, I guess delightful Darsh didn't move Lee at the deadline because he was hoping they'd make the playoffs and make a run. Senex, don't look like you're having much fun. Doesn't look like you have much fun, X. Why is that?
I don't know. I'm just sitting here. I would say we do lose for Landon. How about that?
Okay. Freedom Fun Adventure says, here we go. Another episode of Son X hating on freedom. Thanks, Anders. Godspeed, but also thank you, God, for another member of the country club is out. He was definitely more a part of the problem than the solution. Agreed, yeah. Nick Isle Stress says, Lee is a mammoth. He is a mammoth.
Yeah.
Slow and
a mammoth in front of the net.
Freedom Fun Adventure says, how symbolic of your life was the TJ sabotage during the draft show? He did sabotage us. Things were going well, and TJ came along and blew it up. You had hair, you were young, you had muscles, and then TJ came along. Ooh, wow. Freedom Fun Adventure adds, the Bowen Byron deal is insane, as is what they paid for him. Toronto was insane. Islanders did well, dumping and adding low-cost, short-term deals. Yeah, but don't expect much from those players, though. I mean, he didn't hurt the team in free agency today. The Islanders have $4 million in cap space left. That's it. Their offseason's over. They've made no improvements this year. None. Not a one. Same team minus Anders Lee. They should have dumped everybody at the deadline, not brought money in. And I'm not saying you need to go out and sign anybody, honestly. Embrace the rebuild. It's here. Embrace it.
Yep.
Love it.
Go all in.
That's right. Nick Eilstretch says Bobrovsky made a big mistake signing with the Leafs. Maybe. They're okay, but they're going to be in playoff contention. Absolutely, they're going to be in playoff contention. That's the thing you have to remember.
Yep.
I mean, that's what it's about, right? Gungur says, could the Islanders make the playoffs or they go back to Trotz-style defense hockey, or will the song remain the same? They're not making the playoffs.
Yeah, I can't see them making the playoffs.
No. It's the same team as last year that finished how many points? 11 points out of a playoff spot?
Yep.
And Florida's better. The only shot they had was to get into the Metro. So you have to be a top 3 team in the Metro to make the playoffs.
Not just Florida, but Washington is also going to be better as well.
Well, Washington's going to take a top 3 spot in Metro. You're battling with Pittsburgh, Philly, Jersey, Columbus, and the Rangers because
for the third spot.
Because 5 spots are going to the Atlantic.
Yep.
Tampa, Florida, Toronto is going to be back. I don't know if they're going to make it. Montreal should be back. Buffalo is going to be better.
Yep.
I mean,
all those teams are better than that.
Ottawa, even losing Brady Kachuk, they're still a pretty good team.
They'll definitely take a fall, though.
They'll take a little bit of a hit, but they're better than the Islanders.
Sure. I don't think you're wrong saying that.
Rick Roman says Mike Greer was everybody's darling when he was collecting top 5 picks, but today he showed his warts. Trouba, Nurse, and Marchment, awful. Yeah, I thought so too. I don't think he's that good a GM. I'd much rather go the young route. You can add one. I don't think much of Darnell Nurse. Trouba, amazingly, he plays really good in contract years. Anaheim got as much out of him. He didn't want to play there. Okay. They really wanted Schaefer.
Yep.
They wanted Schaefer desperately last year. They don't need any of those guys if they have Schaefer.
Agreed.
You know? Freedom from the Bench says, via draft adding size and nasty, via free agency adding nasty, but for the minors, we need fighters. Can't let Schaefer be the most hit player again. Shane Ross Johnson signed with St. Louis. Who can you believe Ross Johnson's still playing? Gungun says, Grumpy, did Darsh not doing anything dumb so far this offseason make him more endearing? No. Son X, how can I improve my hearing?
Hearing aids.
Hearing aids. There you go, X.
Or get your ears cleaned up.
There you go. Clean them out. Freedom Fund Adventure says, Son X not selling assets at the deadline actually precedes even Lou. Started with Snow and guessing under this ownership, desperate for playoff revenue. Islanders could be so far ahead if they were selling. Good teams, when they come up on the deadline, or well-managed teams, I'll say, and you have unrestricted free agents on your team, you sell everyone you can.
Yep.
Why? Because you get value back for them on expiring.
Supposed to losing them for nothing.
And here's the thing: if they want to come back, you can sign them back.
Yep.
If they really want to come back, if they bleed orange and blue, they'll come back, and you get assets and you bring them back. If not, see you later. Your tenure with this team was over anyway. You don't re-sign all those guys. It's just dumb. They've been really dumb like that for a lot of years. It's why the team's in the situation they're in. They re-sign guys in their 30s, mid-30s. I always had to think, nobody over 30 to a long-term deal. Sorry, don't do it. Not doing it. Unless he's a star. That's it, though. Tom Lucas says, hey, guys, love the podcast. Grumpy, I'm with you about trading away Lee. We could have gotten draft picks for him. How do you see Isaiah George fitting in? He's on the outside looking in right now. That's what I think. Now, Aitchison's not going to be ready to play this year. Gustafson's not going to be ready to play this year. But you have Pelech, and you have Schaefer, and you have Romanov. Those are your top 3 left shot defensemen. On the right side, you have Pulak, you have Mayfield, and you have who was the other? And Tony D'Angelo, who they just signed to a contract extension. So he's maybe your number 7 guy. That's what it is. He's not very good defensively, and what's the use for him on the team?
Yep.
He's small, and he gets bodied off the puck a lot. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of use for guys like that. That's just me. Nick Isle Stress says Matt Barzell for captain. Absolutely. It'll be Horvat, but it should be Barzell. Brett Wayner says, heard from a very reliable source, the old man is still in control of the team. Makes sense why the old guys on expiring deals weren't moved. That's not true. Freedom Front Adventure says, oh my God, San Jose took Nurse. They bailed Edmonton out on this one. There's always somebody stupid out there to help you. Usually it's Matthew Darsh or Lou Lamoriello before him. Now it's Mike Greer. There you go. Jeremy Ford Avon says, who is the next Islanders lifer? Pelech? No. Pulak? No. Mayfield? No. Barzell? Maybe. Sorokin? Yeah. Holmstrom? No. Cizikas? No. Who's the last one who leaves? I'm sorry. I should have read the whole comment. I'm going to say Cizikas should absolutely be gone this year. Is Mayfield even worth trading right now? If you're going to trade him, you better get a lot for him. His contract's only 3.25 or 3.5 million a year. And he signed for what, 4 more years?
Yep.
That's a really good deal and with the dearth of right shot defensemen. That's a really good deal. Ryan Pulak, his deal is great too. So is Adam Pelech. Both, I think Pulak is 6 and Pelech's 5 and change. I mean, those are great deals.
Yep.
See what the other guys are getting. Those are great deals. Rick Roman says $16 million a year for Trouba and Nurse. That's some bad GMing. Absolutely, it is. The only thing is worse is Anjay Palat and Braden Shen for 12.5. David DeJesus says, "Hey boys, Darsh says we will have close to $40 million in cap space at the end of 2027. Does it really matter? Many start being trades now. We're always late to the party." That's right. Always late to the party. Jeremy Ford Avon says, maybe San Jose would like a quick skating Swedish left wing on a secure contract for years to come with that kind of spending. I think he's talking about Pierre Engvall. David DeJesus says, look, Lou still or maybe he's talking about, no, he's not signed long-term. I was going to say the fourth liner. You know what I'm talking about. David DeJesus says, look, Lou still has his claws in this Islanders team. He's advised to owner Malkin. Why think 3 other GMs with a resume didn't want this job? Lou is still around. What's up? 4800 says Drouin buyout shows the Shen deal was also to get rid of Drouin. Shen replaces Lee. Kind of got to the same place. No. Put that comment back up. No, absolutely not. You gave up a first and a third pick, a first, a third, and a 4th round pick. You gave him 3 picks to exchange Shen for Lee. You gave up a first, a third, and a 4th.
It was terrible.
I don't care about Jonathan Drouin. He's nothing. It's nothing. His contract was $4 million for 1 year. Shen's is 6.5 for 2. That's a loss. That was a terrible deal. That was the worst deal at the deadline. It's one of the worst deals in Islander history. Terrible. Freedom Front Adventure says, who watched the prospect game? Not me. I haven't yet, but I caught shootout, and I think it was Clutter heaping praise on Nelson's puck protection, Prokhorov, and Big Gus, trademark Freedom. Okay.
Big Gus.
Gustafson.
Yeah, I know.
I think he's going to be great.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Optimistic.
He's going to be a positive. He's going to have a positive impact on the team. I just feel that way. Again, another guy with above average compete. These are the type of guys I want on team.
Yep.
Freedom Front Event says, anyone noticed Darsh during his presser said he couldn't complete some trade due to no trade clauses. He was talking about Pulak, Mayfield, Pelech, and Drouin. Not certain who else, but 3 and 11.2. I don't know what the end means.
11 part 2.
Oh, okay. But you know what? Other teams are willing to waive their no trade protection to go somewhere else. When they sign you, they like it. You don't have to win. You live a very comfortable life. They don't want to go anywhere. They don't want to have to be under the scrutiny of the press when they don't perform. as opposed to the cupcake coverage that they get here.
Correct.
Freedom Venture says, just lost some protection today. They have all blocked trades for years. Could have gotten a first round from Mayfield several times. Mayfield didn't have trade protection before he signed this contract. He did not. It was dumb for Lamoriello not to trade him. It was stupid. Same thing with Varlamov. Dumb. What does that say? I don't want to go to a contender. Exactly. Freedom Front Event says no one needs Werenski. He's an elite defenseman, but is on the left. Going to play second pair behind 48. Schaefer marching on the other hand. Marching on the other hand would have been ideal. Make it happen, Grumpy. Marchenko and Oliver to the Island. Okay, what do the Islanders have to give up? Marchenko's really freaking good. He's young too. He's 25 years old. He's not going to the Islanders. We have nothing to trade for him. Nothing of value. David Jesu says, a good signing next season is defenseman done. He's a UFA next season. He's going to be 30, but way better than none of our defensemen outside of Schaefer. Well, he's got to be a right shot defenseman. There's no way they're going to be
another left shot
defenseman unless he can play on the other side.
Yep.
Freedom Fund Adventure says, was there a family meeting after TJ ruined the draft special? Was anything thrown? Did TJ attend in his tank top? I don't blame TJ. We all know he believes what anyone tells him. Grumpy old man needed to verify. He said that he texted at the time, but son X was not paying attention.
I was not looking at my phone. That's correct.
And I was espousing about Ethan Belchez, but he's going to be a
He had told us.
That's right.
Our source was not sourcing.
Our source was not sourcing. That's okay. I don't mind because
we got out better.
We got the player that I thought we should get anyway. And Belchez is going to be a bust.
And then you said Belchez. You were like, yeah, screw that guy.
Anyway.
You just hyped him up for like 5 minutes. And then you're like, he's going to suck. Let's go.
Gungun says, should the Mets be ashamed of themselves? Yes, they should. Sonex, what's all the sports memorabilia on your shelves?
Good question. I have a bunch of, got a couple of signed footballs up there. And then I got a bunch of bobbleheads. Got a lot of Tom Brady bobbleheads, some old New York Yankee bobbleheads, and then I actually have a Matthew Barzal bobblehead up there as well. I need to get a Schaefer one. You got to get a Schaefer one.
You do.
Yep.
David DeJesu says, all we can hope for this coming season is at least a top 3 pick. Traded the deadline, Pellick, Palmieri, and then you can use those picks to move out a player like DeClaire. You don't need to trade picks to move out DeClaire. Absolutely not. Like I said, I'm full trade mode, full rebuild mode. It's here.
Yep.
No sense trying to chase some ridiculous number, wherever they would pick in the draft. No.
Agreed.
Don't want it. Mario Vargas, we're going to be bad for a few years now.
Yep.
We could have turned the corner sooner if we'd started transitioning the last couple of years of the Lamoriello regime. We'd be right back there now, honestly. It's just you got to cull some of the dead wood. Stop bringing back guys who've never won anything, which honestly is the whole team, right?
Agreed.
The whole team. Agreed. Never won anything.
You expect a different result. Disastrous.
Winning a couple of playoff series in the COVID era is not good enough.
No.
Mario Vargas says, future Hall of Famer Maggio was not tendered an offer. What are they thinking? Everyone falls in love, and that's Phil, falls in love with the William DeFores, the Matthew Maggios. Who knows? Every year it's somebody else new. Liam Foodies, Gauthier when he was here. No, they're all ham and eggers. They're just fodder for the minor league team. They're never going to be good enough.
Yep.
It's the reason why you draft guys who are over age, who are 20 years old, they're probably not going to pan out, right? Particularly when you're getting them in the 4th and 5th rounds. Not going to happen. Freedom Front Event says, you're talking nonsense, old man. This was a very good draft. No, it wasn't. The top 2 picks, Big Gus, played right defense tonight per sheet, and Queen, later the second youngest player of the NBA. Okay, he played for Arizona freaking State. You're going to have to show me a lot to prove to me that you can play at this level if you played at Arizona State. You're not playing anyone in that in that conference.
No.
Playing in Arizona. Sheltered behind four seniors, part 2. Gungun says, Grumpy, how did Michael Corleone tell it was Tessio who was selling him out? Did Fredo think he had a lot of clout? Fredo didn't even think he had any clout. Fredo was loyal, except when he ratted on Michael and tried to have him clipped.
He went against the family.
But here's the thing. Fredo wasn't right. He wasn't real smart. So they were.
Smart. What do you mean he's smart? Not dumb like people say.
He deserved respect. He didn't get any.
Respect.
But Michael knew that it was Tessio because the Don, Vito, told him, whoever comes to you with this meeting, he's the traitor in the family. Bingo, bango, bongo. They knew it. Ava Goda. Sorry, see you later. Tom, could you get me off the hook for old time's sake? Can't do it, Sally. Thanks, Sal. And they all liked him. Sal was a nice guy. So it was just business. I always liked him. Yeah, okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Won't be seeing him no more.
Swimming with the fishes.
Mr. B says, somebody call Garth Snow. Freedom Fun Adventure. Big, strong, mean, great skater. I suspect Carl jumping up to pick before the Islanders in the 5th to take the big right defenseman fighter, screwed the Islanders, but McKee coached the 5th, and he is apparently a relentless worker and fast. Chances of a 5th-round pick working out and becoming a star.
Very slim.
Now, the Islanders,
Tom Brady.
he was a 6th-rounder. Now, the end of the 6th round. But that being said, the Islanders have had success with later round draft picks. Just not recently. That's all. David DeJesu says, Lou 100% is still making decisions on this team. He certainly had a part in Waz firing. Palat and Shen had Lou's name written all over it. Don't blame it all on Darsh. He's just a puppet. Well, if you're a puppet, you're going to get the blame. Sorry, puppet boy. Sorry, puppet face Nelson.
Very true.
You suck. Gungun says, Grumpy, was Men at Work more than a one-hit wonder? Son X, name one other song of theirs besides Down Under. Did you even know they sang Down Under?
Yes, I knew they sung Down Under.
How's that song go, X?
I come from the land down under, where women go and men plunder. Yeah.
All right. They had other songs off that Men at Work album. They did. A couple of them.
What another song?
You know what? I don't remember offhand. But they had a couple. That was the big album for them, right? That was the big album. Dan Lashan with the Wonderful Family says the Islanders won't be good next year. They also haven't been good for the past 5 years. 2 first-round exits and 3 non-playoff appearances. Yeah, that's not good enough.
Do you know they're still singing?
Who's still singing?
Men at Work?
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Doing concerts. That's crazy.
Sure, why not? All right.
They sung Who Can It Be?
That's right. Who Can It Be Now? Yeah, that was a good song. I like that better than Down. They were both good songs. Down Under was good, though.
Yeah.
That was during the, Paul Hogan, Crocodile Dundee era.
Yeah.
Right around then. Yeah, Australia was great. Put another, how did he say it about putting a shrimp on the Barbie X? How'd he go?
I don't put another shrimp on the Bobby. I don't know.
How do you say it if you're Australian?
I don't know. I can't do it.
Oh, yeah, you're really good at that. Let me tell you something, people. X is really good at these accents. He's really good. Like he could be like a South Ender in London.
I could not be a South Ender in London.
He absolutely could. Say put another shrimp on the Bobby.
I can't do an Australian accent.
It's just like English with a little bit more, street savoir-faire, if you will.
Yeah.
Freedom Fund Adventure says, good. I don't want the Islanders to be good. They need 2 to 3 more years of high picks and asset accumulation. Fastest way to improve and stay good for a long period. Cost of trades and free agency shows that. Exactly. That's what you see Carolina doing. Every year they just draft and draft and draft. They move around the draft board. You don't see them, hey, we're going to trade all our chips in. They didn't even make a trade for a player until 3 years ago when they brought in Gensel. And look at how long it took them. They signed Ehlers last year. Great signing for them. It takes a while to learn that system. Jackson Blake. He signed to it. He's already got an 8-year extension. Steinkoven, 8-year extension. Look at the value. Look at the value of those deals, X. You want to see a team that knows how to manage the freaking cap in today's era? Go look at the Carolina Hurricanes. And they're cheap. They're absolutely cheap. Sebastian Aho has 5 more years, 9.75. He's 28 years old. Nikolai Ehlers has 5 more years at $8.5 million. Svechnikov, 26 years old, 3 years, 7.75. Seth Jarvis, 24 years old, has 5 more years left at 7.4. Stankoven just signed a contract extension to 2034 or to 2033. $6 million a year for him. He's only 23 years old. $6 million a year for a guy you're going to have him his entire prime.
Yep.
Jackson Blake, 22 years old, signed a contract extension, expires in 2034. 5.12 million, let's say.
That's the thing is they're a relatively young team.
They're young. Now, here's the one bad signing they have was Kakaniemi. And that was a revenge signing for Montreal giving an offer sheet to Sebastian Aho. So that was a revenge signing, and that one busted out. He's been their worst signing. Then you got their older players. Taylor Hall, really good in the playoffs, right?
Yep.
34 years old. Two more years left, $3.17 million. Tell me he's not better than Anders Lee.
He is.
Less than half the price, right?
And then Jordan Stahl,
who
was player of the won MVP of the playoffs in the finals.
$2.7 million. $2.7 million. I'm sorry, 2.97. Might as well be $3 million a year. Jordan Martinook, 3.12. I mean, William Carrier, 31 years old, 4 more years, 2.15. Jankowski, 1.8. Robinson, 1.7. Delorier, 875,000. Defenseman, look who they got. Keandre Miller, 26 years old, signed through 2020, 32, $7.5 million a year. Jacob Slavin, older, 32. That one will be tough at the back end. Signed through 2032, like I said, $6.4 million. Sean Walker, 3 years, 3.6. Gotcha Spare, signed for next year, 3.2. Jalen Chatfield, signed 1 more year, 3.075. You know he's going to get paid. You know they're going to extend him. John Carlson hasn't signed yet. I'm going to guarantee you he's signing. Nikishin, there you go. Nikishin, 24 years old. He's an RFA. Absolutely, he's going to sign. Mike Riley should sign back there. They know what they're doing. They're goaltenders. Bussy and Kochekov together make $3.9 million. Bussy is signed for 3 more years. They just know what they're doing. Some teams just know what they're doing. And then you have the Islanders. And they're not the only ones. Believe me, the Islanders are more the norm than the outsider making dumb moves like that. Every team makes dumb moves. You know where they are in the standings? At the bottom. Freedom from the Bench says, Son X, has your father always focused on the worst possible scenario? X, have I always? So. No, absolutely not. I'm a realist, though. Is that correct, X? You'd say a realist?
Yes.
Okay. Thomas Antonetti. That's right, straight shooter. Thomas Antonetti says, gents, after the draft and day 1 of free agency, penny pinchers, of course, I find it so difficult to be anything but blah about this upcoming season. What's there to be excited about? 8th place? They're going to be kicking around the bottom of the division.
Yep.
I think Columbus.
What are we excited for? The upcoming draft.
That's it. Like the olden days. Look forward to the draft.
Yep.
There's no way they should be moving whatever. I'm moving players.
Agreed.
I'm moving players.
Try and get younger.
As soon as if Keyshawn Aitchison shows that he can play, and it might not be this year, might not be next year. As soon as he shows he can play and shoulder workload, you have to move guys off for draft capital.
Yep.
That's just what you have to do. As soon as you see a young guy who's ready to step in, you need to move somebody out, a veteran, move him out, get some draft capital, let the young guy play.
Yep.
Agreed. And let him learn on the job.
Yep. On the job training.
And I'm not saying like the olden days where you drafted, Niederreiter at number 5 and you popped in the lineup right away, put him on the 4th line. That's not what I consider being ready to play. Josh Bailey, they didn't do him a service either, honestly. Having him come up as an 18-year-old and, play from day 1. They should have let him percolate a little bit in the minors. That's what they should do. Freedom Fundamental says, Grumpy not making an 18-year-old captain. Yeah, they're not going to. I know they're not going to. That's not even fair to the kid. Not Barzy. He won't fully commit to playing the game the way the coaches want. That's not a leader. See, I disagree. I
think B.
I think, Bo Horvat? Yeah, not me. The freaking yes man. Polly Mazda says, if you could come back from now to 5 years ago, what do you think was the current Islanders GM biggest blunders in terms of bad trade or bad contract or lack of moving a player? It all started when Lamoriello, the year that they missed the playoffs by 16 points, didn't move Mayfield and Varlamov and somebody else. I forget who the other guy was at the deadline. That's when you should have started the transition. You didn't have to do it overnight. If you do it gradually, it doesn't hurt. You don't have to go back down to the bottom. You just move those guys who are on expiring deals, and you just move on. You get value for them. You get assets. You can make trades for younger players. You don't have to trade for everybody in the mid-30s. And Darce this year was horrid. The Shen deal is an all-time bad Islander deal. All-time bad.
That's a typical Islander GM move.
Yeah. I mean, the Milbury, to me, the worst Islander trade of all time was Milbury trading Jokinen and Luongo for Parrish and Kavasha. That was the worst trade in Islander history. That's bottom 5 worst trade in NHL history. Terrible. That was terrible. But the last 5 years, it was, I don't even know if that was the year for Lamoriello or not. But that was really bad when he didn't move those UFAs. And this year, the same thing. Darce didn't do it on a team that was never making the playoffs. They didn't move anybody at the deadline. Last time, when Lamoriello's last year, when they didn't make the playoffs, he didn't move anybody at the deadline either. It's a crime. It's a crime against, not humanity, but it's a crime against the organization, against Sports 101, that you don't trade UFAs when your team is not very good and on the downside. You must move those guys to transition to the next phase. Just common sense. I'm big on common sense. Big Time 1972 says, give Darce an extension. Absolutely freaking not. Freedom Front Adventure says, oh, look, wonder if Gleb might be ready to join the Islanders at some point this season. Nope. He was mentioned last year as the guy who could grab a spot at a strong scrimmage, easily improve the fourth line. They already have everyone's already signed. He's not playing. He'll be in the minors. He's not going to be on the fourth line. He's not making the team. The team is already set in stone, just like every other year for the last 8 years. You know what the team is going to be immediately.
And then we're going to expect different results, but get the same or worse.
That's it.
Yep.
Drew says, in all honesty, I'm happy that Lee is gone. There might be a small glimmer of hope that this could be the sign of a new era. There's also rumors that Romanov could get traded. You can only hope.
Yeah.
But think about it. Who are the guys he signed last year's free agents, regardless of, their own guys or not? Romanov, monstrous bust, get moved. Drouin, already traded, bust. Do you want this guy making free agent acquisitions?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Maybe the new guy they brought in to be in head of pro player personnel will help in that. Yeah. But Darce has been terrible at that. JP says, Grumpy, I was kidding about 48 going to Houston because Houston is supposed to be one of the next expansion cities. Oh, okay. Sorry. Didn't get it. My bad. Nick Canetta says, Darce's plan is to obviously keep the team's future space flexible, use the current contracts to slowly integrate youth. Well, we'll see if that's the case. We don't know. I do think one of Pelech or Romanov would be traded. Didn't think it would happen at the draft because they weren't super high in this past draft. That's fine. Like I said, you're going to have to start moving guys off this team. They all have long-term contracts. What you're doing is stagnating the development and implementing of youth in the system when you're keeping guys who have 4 or 5 years left on their deals. You can't leave those guys in the minors forever. If they're ready to play, you got to move somebody out.
Yep.
Get value. Pelech has way more value than Romanov.
Agreed.
Way more. If you ask me who I'd move first,
only because Romanov's contract is so bad.
Well, yeah, I think he's got. Let me see how many years he's got left. Maybe 5 years left, which is about 8 too many, honestly. Romanoff. His contract expires in 2032. So
32, 33 season at 6.25 a year.
Yeah, so he's got like 7 years left on his deal.
It's bad.
That's a bad deal. Pellick has 3 years. Pulak has 4 years. D'Angelo, 2 years. Mayfield, 4 years. Schaefer, 2 years on ZLC. That's it. I would probably hold Romanoff, and I'd move Pellick first. Why would I move Pellick? Because he's going to be giving you diminishing returns.
Yep.
He's 31 years old, injury history. He's the guy I move first. He's got a shorter term deal, less money than Romanoff gets paid. And that's the guy that I move. He's the first guy to move. After that, Pulak is in a more advantageous situation because he's a right shot defenseman. They don't have any in the system. That's why you got to keep him a little while. Pellick should be number 1. Romanoff number 2. That's fine. As soon as these guys show that they can play, Gustafson, if you think that, hey, this year, Aitchison won't be ready. I'm not talking about this year, but like next year. Yeah, Aitchison looks like, all right, he's not fully baked yet. And, Pellick is better or Romanoff is better. But you know what? This kid's younger. He's almost as good. That's when you make your move. Keep the upside. There's no upside to Romanoff. There's no upside to Pellick. There's no upside to Pulak. There's only a few guys that have upsides in the whole organization. Just what it is. Nick Canetta says, the longer I've sat on the Gustafson pick, the more I've liked it. Don't love it, but like it. I think it was a good selection by them where they picked. Freedom Front Bench says, to me, for the Islanders to be competitive, the following roster spots need to be upgraded. Pellick, Pulak, 24. Is that 24 is not Mayfield, is it? Maybe it is. Duclair, Cizikas, Palat, McLean, Pajot, Holmstrom, and who the heck is 21X? Who's 21?
Give me a second.
Left out 18, which is Engvall. There's just a lot of guys. It's not a great roster. It just isn't. Guys need to be moved. But they don't have a whole lot of guys to step in.
21 is Palmieri.
Palmieri, yeah. Oh, this is Palmieri's last year.
24 is Scott Mayfield.
Okay, it was Mayfield. Okay. Yeah. Nick Canessa says, I can safely say I've liked our free agent moves. Yeah. They're not moves. They're not going to move the needle, but they're not going to break the bank either. They're okay. No, it's not going to change the direction of the team. They would just fill in a couple spots. Lose Andrews Lee, bring in Michelli. Okay. Nick Canessa says, this our off season is done. Still feels like there's a trade or two on the horizon. Do you trust him to make it?
This offseason is done, is what he's saying.
Big Time says, TJ's no longer with the firm. It's true. Big Time says the Islanders need a top 7 pick. They'll have one next year. But you know what? If you were smart, you could have got maybe more than one by moving picks at this deadline. And, whatever picks you didn't use this year, trade them for next year's first round picks. It's okay. Asset management is the most important thing. And here's the thing. They need more volume. I'm not saying they don't need, value. They absolutely do. But they need more volume in their system. There's not a whole lot of guys in their system. Not everyone pans out. Most don't. Freedom Front Event says, Mr. X, how's the gym this week? Wow. Did you drive by one, X? Hit any new personal records?
Comedian.
Yep. Did 55 past the gym. Making those gains. Did you see your dad there chatting up the girls with his, you know who you look like line?
Oh, God.
Yeah, but hey, she knew you know who she looked like. Sure. Believe me, this is not rocket science. Dan Lashan says, is it absolutely horrible that we have a world-class goaltender in Sorokin, and since we did not start this rebuild years ago, we're now going to have to waste his prime? It is horrible. If we have to have a perfect rebuild, retool, We won't be good for at least 2 full years, more likely 3. At that point, Sorokin could be on his way down. Exactly.
That's why I say you should potentially move on from him.
They could have done it where, okay, we weren't making we were a shitty team for the last 5 years. Let's be honest. A team that got Carolina the 2 years they went in the playoffs and didn't make it 3 years. You could have done that by getting rid of guys off your roster when free agency come up. You could have already retooled. You could have had a whole bunch of young players ready to contribute now. That's what you could have had. But no, it's the past regime and this current regime has decided that it's better to have a bunch of old guys who suck and bring them in here for the fantasy land pick of we're going to contend for a Stanley Cup because anything can happen when you make the playoffs. Well, you know what happened? You get Carolina'd. That's what happened.
It's the last comment of the night, Grumpy.
All right, from Freedom Fun Adventure X brain teaser. If Romanovs is so bad, why are all the contending teams trying to acquire him? I haven't heard of one contending team trying to acquire him. Yeah, who? He just throws that out there like it's true. It's not true. Nobody said any teams are contending. Probably teams that want to get.
Romanov's mother. That's the only one who's contending.
Probably teams that want to get to the cap floor are looking to acquire him.
God. All right, Grumpy, anything you want to say before we hop off tonight?
I want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't. From the grumpy old man at SunX.
I want to thank everybody for coming out and listening. As always, I love the interaction in the comments, and we will see you guys next time.
Next time.
Thanks, Grumpy.
My pleasure.